Welcome, bienvenidos a esta quinta conferencia de estadística.
Welcome to this fifth Statistics Conference, Information to Unlock the Future. Good morning, everyone, and welcome this morning. It is an honor for us to host this event since 2015. It gives us the opportunity to share experiences and reflect on the future of statistics and the challenges that information brings us to improve our analysis and decision-making. This conference brings together distinguished experts in the field of macroeconomic statistics, data, and information production and its users. I thank our international speakers and also our local speakers, all attendants, and those who are following us this morning via streaming. We're living in an era of data and information. This period in history is marked by an unprecedented volume of information generated on a massive scale. The digitalization of our activities has given rise to a vast amount of data covering extensive aspects of our lives. The way we interact with our devices, the way we shop or transact online. Every action leaves a digital footprint that adds up to an interconnected network of information. One of the most remarkable aspects of this revolution is the massification of information. Internet has become an immense resource accessible to billions of people around the world. In fact, as of July, an estimated 5,192 million people, roughly 65% of the world's population, were using the Internet for an average of 6 hours and 40 minutes per day. Dealing with critical situations such as the COVID-19 pandemic or climate change, whose effects are becoming more and more evident in the world, generates a complex scenario that poses important new challenges. On the one hand, we must better measure and explain economic and social phenomena as they occur, properly reflecting the heterogeneous way in which this impacts the different agents of society. Digitalization of administrative processes and activities is a powerful source of background information of great statistical richness and immeasurable academic value. So all of this comes hand in hand with the challenge of safeguarding the privacy of its owners, who generate the digital footprint. On the other hand, we must strengthen the public's confidence in official statistics in the face of the disruption of multiple sources. So, at this conference, we would like to explore the opportunity offered by this new scenario, empowering and promoting data-driven decision-making, not only by governments and firms, but also by the general public. This wealth of new data and the possibilities of connecting them has allowed us to improve our analysis and decision-making capabilities. Today, many central banks and statistical agencies have already succeeded in adapting their analytical thinking to the use of non-conventional sources and big data techniques for processing. The Central Bank of Chile is no exception. In our strategic plan for 2023-2027, we continue to deepen our use and analysis of data in all areas of the institution, in addition to developing new statistics that link economic activity with new dimensions. And in this way, we hope to continue contributing to the country with a better analysis, decision-making, in matters of monetary policy and financial stability. Clearly, we're only at the threshold of the potential. An example of this: at a time when our biggest challenge is the convergence of inflation to the target, characterization of the dynamics of firms' price adjustments, which through microdata from administrative records has contributed to understanding the determinants of inflation. Recently, a decrease in the frequency of price increases has been observed, approaching historical averages, and an increase in the frequency of negative price adjustments by firms, which adds evidence to the inflation convergence process towards the 3% target. To understand this phenomenon, we, in addition to do a structural decomposition of CPI for goods and by distinguishing between supply and demand shocks, which we complemented with an estimation of the half-life of the shocks to determine the persistence of inflation. Likewise, during the pandemic, access to information, we're talking about invoices, integrated with data on economic performance, access to bank credit and margins, made it possible to monitor at firm level the shocks that hit the economy and the effect of macroeconomic policies implemented during that time. And thanks to this, we have improved the timeliness of our official statistics, thanks to the aforementioned information, such as the case of more disaggregated monthly results for activity and the quarterly frequency for GDP and household consumption at the regional level as of last year. Most recently, in view of the reduction of the monetary policy rate, the question arose as to how this lower MPR would be transmitted to market interest rates. Using, once again, microdata on commercial bank loans, it was possible to decompose the variation in rates into the extensive and intensive margins, recognizing the predominant role of the latter. A pattern of interest rates was observed, and that was being passed through according to usual patterns for different size of firms, determined by the sales level and different credit risk classifications. Therefore, this allows for early monitoring of a very important channel of monetary policy pass-through. Based on this, new opportunities have opened, and so progress has been made in developing a set of experimental indicators that supplement traditional macroeconomic statistics. Among others, there are regional sales and purchase indicators published last May, which show transactions between firms with breakdowns such as the region of sale or purchase, the sector of economic activity, and the size of the firm, or the Retail Trade Daily Sales Index, which serves as a leading indicator of the Monthly Trade Activity Index, calculated by the National Statistics Institute, and which is updated every 2 weeks with daily data. The diversity of economic, social, and environmental challenges that we face calls for an expansion of statistical production to incorporate the measurement of emerging phenomena such as climate change and repercussions for economic analysis. In this context, the Central Bank of Chile has been participating in international initiatives such as the Network for the Greening of the Financial System, among others, and has joined 2 initiatives based in Chile. The first is the Natural Capital Committee, a body created by the Ministry of the Environment and supported by the Ministry of Finance and the National Council of Science, Technology, Knowledge and Innovation for Development, that aims to advise and provide recommendations for the measurement of natural assets in Chile. The second is an initiative headed by the Ministry of Finance to develop a taxonomy, that is, a system for classifying environmentally sustainable economic activities. Another demand that has been highlighted by the sanitary crisis caused by COVID-19 is the need for an integrated, multidimensional framework to better understand shocks and the effect of policies, which can differ significantly across heterogeneous households. So, having distributional information on household income, consumption, and wealth consistent with national account totals provides a comprehensive view of economic phenomena and strengthens their understanding and analysis. For this reason, following international recommendations contained in the System of National Accounts, we also plan to prepare and publish disposable income, consumption, and household savings by quintiles as an objective of this 5-year plan. This new information ecosystem, while opening the possibility of calculating new statistics and recognizing new patterns, also raises ethical questions regarding the privacy and confidentiality of information. In this context, the Central Bank of Chile has been, for some years now, promoting an appropriate and secure use of data, which we hope to continue to strengthen. Starting in 2020, we began implementing an integrated and robust data management system aligned with international best practices. Our data model centralizes microdata bases and the administration of existing information exchange agreements, in addition to improving the technological infrastructure for queries involving large volumes of information. But all this effort to offer new statistics that contribute to a better understanding and more timely monitoring of economic phenomena and consequently a more accurate evaluation of policies will have little effect if they're not known and understood by the people, constantly bombarded by data, often partial and biased, and which tarnish their confidence in statistics. In the midst of this situation, communication of official statistics is taking on an increasingly critical role in society. Central banks and statistical agencies have a duty to be open to dialogue with users, especially to ensure that new generations see official statistics as a reliable and high-quality source of information. In this goal of making statistics available to users in a massive, clear, and easy-to-understand manner, we have set out a strategy that includes getting closer to the regions and to segments of the population that are less familiar with statistics, especially the young. In the middle of the year, taking advantage of social media, we launched the statistics account on Instagram, LinkedIn, and X, formerly Twitter, where we disseminate the main macroeconomic and financial indicators that we generate. We invite you to follow us on all these platforms. This opens enormous possibilities for the development of statistics and a better response to economic challenges, contributing to the better design of public policies. These horizons multiply with the prospects of artificial intelligence. There's a vast road ahead of us with enormous potential, but at the same time, this poses great challenges. This process involves the handling of individual information, which we must carry out under strict canons of conduct and information security. We must be careful and self-regulate because it's an ethical duty and because the trust required by statistical processes merits it. To conclude, I'd like to stress that the role of central banks and statistical agencies in providing the information and data needed to understand the state of economy, to help in the formulation of more informed policies, and to maintain the public's trust in institutions is today more relevant than ever. The Central Bank of Chile will continue to contribute to the understanding of relevant macroeconomic phenomena based on the growing analytical possibilities opened by the availability of microdata. I'd like to thank Helen Parkett, Beatriz Velázquez, Montserrat Vilches, Ricardo Villarreal for organizing this conference, and also the Institutional Affairs Division for their help in managing the logistics of the event. I have no doubt that this conference will enrich our knowledge and broaden our perspectives on what it means to have reliable, comparable and comprehensible information for everyone and show us the way to the future of statistics. I'd also like to thank the speakers, our guests, and wish you a very fruitful day. Thank you.